Hi, I'm Daphne from Daps Makeup, and I'm here to give you the quick tea on luxury makeup, and I'm super excited to talk about, it's Chanel. You know, first off, you already know, it is like actually one of my favorite luxury brands, but it's about their new Healthy Winter Glow collection. I bought 3 items from the collection. I'm excited to show you. And it was actually a lot of fun getting it because I actually went out with 2 of my good girlfriends, Jamila from I Am Jamila. Please follow her YouTube channel. She is so good. She does indie, luxury and everything in between, and she's always looking for a good bargain, so she's a great source to follow. And then also my friend Jana from Chic Brooklyn Beauty, follow her on her Instagram page. She has a beautiful collection, very curated, and she loves to do empties, and she's just the sweetest girl. So please follow both of those 2 ladies. But we went to the mall together, and we went into a Chanel boutique. And so, yeah, that's where I got my items. I did do some swatches in there. So even some of the items that I didn't purchase, I did do some swatches for you. So, you know, I'll give you little quick videos from those. So even though I only bought 1 blush, I swatched all 3 blushes for you. I also passed on the eyeshadow palette. I mean, it's a beautiful color story, but I just had concerns about the pigmentation. You know, there are 2 shadows that are clearly nicely pigmented. There's one, you know, cute little like sparkly, maybe topper shade. And then there's a couple other shadows that were kind of light. I wasn't sure if they were going to be deep enough for me, or I'd just have to work really hard to make it work. And it's not a unique enough color story for me to work that hard and make shadows work. I have plenty of Pat McGrath and other brands that do similar pink shadows that I can pull that off with. So I forgo the eyeshadow palette, but I did do swatches for you. But let's talk about what I did get, okay? So yes, I did get the blush. So I told you I got 1 of them, and it is the deepest shade Mauve Grace. Now, actually, I have to say, even for this one, so my whole intention, I waited for this girl's trip to go buy this blush. Before I even walked in, my girl Jana, she had already bought it for me. I was like, you know, that's why I'm here. She's the sweetest. So she actually bought it for me. So we have the blush. We're gonna go over that. I bought the primer, and I got it in the deepest shade, light copper. I did swatch the lightest one as well for you. When I went to Chanel Boutique, at the moment they didn't have the middle one for me to swatch. I will say I did swatch the middle one at another store, and I didn't get that on camera for you guys. I'll still give you my opinion. You know, obviously I got this one, so I can definitely tell you about this particular shade in general. From the swatches, you know, I feel like all of these would melt into your skin, but the lightest shade definitely is probably not the best for me, you know, because due to concerns for white cast, and it had this kind of a bluish, purpley tone to it. The middle one, I don't know, the light beige, the icy white, no. The light beige, I might have pulled that off, actually. I think I could have pulled it off, but to be safe, I went with the darker shade, light copper. So we're gonna go over that. And then I also got a lip balm. I actually like their lip balms. I know it's really pricey to get lip balms, and I would never tell anybody like it's a must thing to get, but this is actually my 3rd lip balm. But I thought I got a really unique shade called Keep Cool. So what we're gonna do is I did do a demo. I used all 3 products for today's look, and so I'm gonna show you the demo video where I you know, how I got this whole look together. And then after you finish watching that, we'll go together. I will do some live swatches of all these products, and I will give you my final thoughts on first impressions, but all my final thoughts on all 3 products. All right, here we go. All right, well, I am super excited to try out the items I bought from the Chanel Healthy Winter Glow collection. I got 3 items that we're gonna use together. We're gonna first start with the primer. And it is in the darkest shade, Light Copper. I'm gonna take it out the box. Now, I already did my skincare, which is very typical for me. I have a lip tinted under eye cream. I have a LYS hyaluronic vitamin C serum, and then I have a Lancome moisturizer that has SPF in it. So my face is nice and moisturized, but this is my typical skincare. But I am super excited to try this because I do tend to have dry skin. It is winter time where I am, so this is a definite time that moisture is super important. Now, yes, I could do a Chanel foundation. You know, it would make sense to do it all Chanel, but I love my Chanel foundation. But I really want to put this to the test. I want to put it with a foundation that I find is too drying on me, on my bare skin. A foundation that absolutely needs a hydrating primer. So I figure that is the best test. So I'm actually going to use Tom Ford. This is a Traceless Soft Matte Stick. I love their foundations, all their liquid foundations I've tried so far, but this stick foundation on my bare skin is very dry and does not look good, and only works if I have a hydrating primer. So that's why this is a great test for this. So let's open this up. All right, this is my first time trying it, so here we go. Hopefully you could see what it looks like. So I'm gonna put some directly, I'll put a dot here. We'll see how much I need. So I'll say it feels very nice. It feels moisturizing. Not too thin, but not too thick either. I'm gonna put a little bit more. And it blends into my skin, so it's not leaving any cast on my skin. So even though it has these 3 shades, and I do think this is the proper shade for my skin tone, it's not like it's adding, like, you know, changing my skin tone or anything like that. So it's sheer, it's blending in. You could see it, see all my imperfections still. And there we go. So it feels nice. Maybe the slightest bit of tack, not too sticky, but there is a tack to it. So definitely moisturizing, feels good. There might be a slight scent to it, but you know, it's Chanel, so to be expected that there should be fragrance, but it's not overly fragrant at all. So anybody who's worried about scents, who are bothered by horrible, you know, strong scents, this isn't it. All right, so using the Traceless Soft Matte, I have it in the shade 10.5 Mocha. I usually go for 10.0 Chestnut in their liquid foundations. This was the only shade available in the stick, but I still feel like it works for me. So here we go. All right. All right, let's see how things blend in. Everything is blending nicely. And yeah, it doesn't feel too drying. Like I said, you know, for those of you who have oily or combination skin, probably love this foundation, but if you have dry skin like me, this is a foundation that's hard for us to pull off. It feels very dry. Without a primer, it feels dry, it looks dry, it is not cute, at least from my experience. So, okay. So everything blended nicely, and it doesn't feel too dry. All right, I'm gonna go off camera and just do the rest of my complexion, and then we'll come back to do the blush together. Okay, so off camera, I use Tom Ford complexion in terms of concealer, cream bronzer. To set my face, I did use Chanel, my trusty oversized powder. I use other Chanel products, Rouge Noir mascara, an eyeliner. This is a Rouge Noir liner, even in my brows is Chanel. and the eyes are Chanel. So I didn't buy the new eyeshadow palette. I decided to forego on that. But in terms of the mattes, I use Blurry Mauve. I guess I might as well show you. This, I don't know if this is still available, but I use this matte in my crease. This one I know is limited edition, so this is definitely gone. Douceur et Sérénité. This was, I thought, a unique color story. Love this. So to bring a little bit purpleness in there. And then lastly, in terms of the shimmers and for some extra depth in the crease, and this one is a classic one that is always available and is a top seller. Tissé Rivoli. So I use the shimmers. On the lid, and then this to provide some depth. So we did use Chanel eyeshadow, just not the new one. We'll talk about that later, but I decided to pass on that. So anyway, but I wanted to give a cool mauve look to go with the blush and the lip balm that we're about to use now. So yay! I'm so excited to try this blush. And it does come in a dust bag. And here we go. Let us open up. I'm taking out the brush. We'll talk about the brush in a second, but here is the blush. It is the deepest shade. I know the light is washing it out. Let me take off the lights for a second. So here I am, natural lighting, and also so you can get a sense of my complexion. And I think it's looking good. Like I said, my always concern with this particular foundation that it can be very drying on my skin, but I think the primer is it's looking good. So, and this is the blush in natural lighting. I'm gonna put in the lights again because you might be able to appreciate that there's very subtle, but there's some sparkles in there, very subtle in there. Now it does come with a brush, and this brush is definitely much thicker and different from the typical brushes that comes with blush. You know what? Let me grab another blush to compare the brush. I'll be right back. I'm back. So just want to compare. So besides color difference, but you can see how much thinner this is compared to this. So I'm actually appreciating this. I'm sure I'm gonna in the end use my Chanel brush, a traditional blush brush. But let's actually even try this out first and just see, if I was in a pinch, could I use this? Let's find out. So, oh boy, here we go. I hate to mess up the embossing, but we gotta use it. So let's see. So some of it's coming on here. So I'm gonna try this out. Most likely this isn't gonna be it, but you know what? I mean, it's putting a little something, but we're gonna switch over to the blush. But you can already see how it is more of a glowy type of blush. So now I'm gonna go into a Chanel blush brush because this picks up a lot more. So there we go. How pretty! How gorgeous is that? All right, don't worry, I'm gonna take off the light so you can see it in natural lighting. So look at this blush in natural lighting. Yes, so it does show up on my skin. Yes. We'll talk about the other ones, but the deepest one, yes. I'm gonna put in the light again because you could appreciate the glow. Gorgeous. So no blush, blush. Oh, I know I'm supposed to wait till the end to let you know what I think, but it's quite hot. I can't hide it. How good. They weren't lying about winter glow. Okay. Okay. We glowing. We glowing. Let's try the lip balm. All right, we got one more product left of the collection to try out, and it is the lip balm, and it is in the shade Keep Cool. I'm particularly excited to try it right now just because my lips are dry. I have been holding off on putting anything on my lips. Now this is a lip balm, so obviously have your I already have my expectations in check. This is not a lipstick. This is not Rouge Coco Flash or Coco Bloom or any of this. This is the lip balm. So you know, in terms of pigmentation, you know, you gotta keep it in check. But anyway, you know, obviously beautiful packaging because it is Chanel. I just thought this was such a unique shade for, you know, it's a very cool tone brown mauve shade. You know, and you can, I think, can already appreciate that it has like a metallic finish. I remember back in the day when I was really big into metallic lipsticks. I stepped away, but I guess it's time to bring it back. So here we go. So remember, this is a lip balm. So you can compare my top lip to my bottom lip, so you can definitely see that I told you my lips are dry, so excuse me, but you can appreciate the iciness. So we're gonna see how this looks on its own, and honestly, you could use this to top a lipstick. So this is a lip balm on its own on my lips. It's definitely giving that early 2000s frosty lip look. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a brown liner, and let's see how that looks with the brown liner. All right, we're back. So I just grabbed a LYS liner. I think it's called Devoted, the lip liner. So, but just a typical brown liner, and I think it's looking even better with the brown liner, not as harsh. I'm just looking in the viewfinder. So I think it's cute. It's a lip balm. So, you know, like I said, we can't put it on our expectations we have to keep in check. This is not an actual lipstick. It's a lip balm. So it is moisturizing, and that's what it's supposed to do. And yeah, I think, you know, nice cool tone. It looks nice with a brown liner. You know, and in the future, I'll test it out, maybe putting it on top of another lipstick and then seeing how that, you know, adding that coolness and metallicness to another lipstick or another lip balm, you know, could have a nice little mixture. So, but anyway, here is the final look. My cheeks are glowing. My lips are moisturized, and the foundation is not looking dry and cakey. So I think we're looking good. Once again, here we are in natural lighting, so that you can also appreciate it this way as well. All right, so we will get back together and I will give you my final thoughts. And we're back. I hope you enjoyed the demo. Hopefully that was helpful for you. So let's first start with the primer, the first product that I used. So this is the La Beige Healthy Winter Glow Primer, and it is in the shade Light Copper. Like I said, this is the deepest shade out of the three. You would have seen it on camera, but I'm gonna just do live swatch here for you as well. So it's just a squeeze action. Okay, so hopefully you can see it there. All right, I'm gonna swatch it on my arm. First, I'm gonna just do deep, just so you can see what the dot looks like. Then I'm gonna do a heavy swatch across so that you can get an idea of the tone of this primer. Now, as you saw in the video though, don't be afraid of the colors because this does blend in. So it actually blends into my skin. So it actually doesn't, you know, add any different color tone. It didn't change my foundation, the tone of it, or anything at all. It completely is invisible and blends into my skin. So all it's doing is providing moisture and glow. And so that's what I mean. Like, I definitely think I probably could have pulled off the middle shade. This was possibly, you know, I'll never know, but I think I might have been able to pull it off. But you know, if you're my shade or deeper, I think the safe route to go is light copper. So if you're around my shade or deeper, go with the light copper. But I've seen women of fair skin buy all three and use them. In the end, they always tend to prefer, you know, the expected shade that you would think, but they do seem to be able to pull them off. So you can potentially pull off, you know, multiple shades potentially. All right. So anyway, in terms of the function, what do I think of this primer? So as I was saying in the video, I specifically use a foundation that on my dry skin, I find very dry, and I do not like it on its own. It does not look good on me. I bought it because it's, and it might still be the case, they were selling it 50% off, and I was like, gotta try it. And I've loved every Tom Ford foundation that I've used thus far. It's always been liquid, but I've loved every version. So regardless if it's a matte or glowy, because I love the liquid version, the traceless matte. So it's not even an issue of matte, because I actually like matte foundations. But with the liquid one, I could even pull off without a primer. The stick, for me, I cannot pull off without a primer. It feels way too matte on my skin. But I'm feeling good with this primer. It does not feel drying, and I don't feel like it's looking dry on my skin. You're seeing me right now in natural lighting. Let me see. I don't know if this will be too much light. I think the natural lighting is better, but you can also appreciate the glow. We'll talk about that. But yeah, you know, just getting close up to my skin. There you go. You know, so you can see that I have a glow. I did not use any highlighter today. So it definitely provided a glow to my skin, and it allowed the very matte foundation to not feel too matte on my skin and not to look too dry or cakey. So I actually like, this is just first impression, so this is not a long wear test. I literally just put it on and I'm coming to talk to you. So this is a true first impressions. If my feelings change, I'll update. A lot of times, you know, I'm really active on Instagram, Daps_makeup. So I'll probably mention something on one of my posts, or in a future video, I'll try to mention if there's any concerns, or I'll actually put it in the description box of this video if my opinion changes. But right now, first impressions, nope. I actually like it. So it feels good. It's moisturizing. It's not too sticky, just feels very moisturizing, but it actually worked in terms of providing the barrier I needed with the foundation. So for the primer, thumbs up. Okay, now let's talk blush. The blush will come in a nice pouch. This is traditional for their blushes. And let's open her up again. We have the brush, I'll talk about that again, but here is the blush. So obviously, first and foremost, as always with Chanel, embossing. They always kill it with the embossing. So, you know, this is for the winter, the beautiful snowflake, the CCs at the center. So I've used it once so far. The embossing is still there. It is raised. So, you know, I hope it lasts for a while. We'll see how long it lasts for. I'm sure it's going to go away eventually. But it's very, very cute embossing. To be fair, when these first came out, I mean, the color, I knew this color, you know, I got the deepest shade, Mauve Grace. I knew this berry shade would be beautiful on me, but my plan was to pass. Because I was like, if you know, I bought a lot of blushes last year, and I already owned a lot of blushes. So I own a lot. And especially, I own a lot of berry tone blushes. So my initial thought was, I'm going to pass. It's beautiful, but I'm going to be good, and I'm going to pass. And then I watched I Am Jamila, my girl Jamie. I watched her use it, and I was like, oh my God, it's gorgeous. And especially I should have figured it out by the name, okay? It is a glow blush. So of course, it's a glowing blush. I just assumed it's another matte blush. I own a lot of matte blushes. I don't own a lot of glowy blushes. You know, I tried RMS last year. I was not a personal fan. I know there was a lot of people, it was like a cult favorite. A lot of people were liking it. I did not like the RMS blushes. That was a fail for me. So I don't own that many glowy blushes. So once I knew about that it was a glowy formulation, and I saw how beautiful it looked on her, I was like, I gotta get it. But I am also thankful for her, because even though she steered me towards this, she also steered me away from the coral shade. That shade barely showed up on her. and she is a little bit lighter than me. So if there's any concern of ash on her, oh no, I'm not messing with that. I was not messing with that because I was considering the coral, and then I saw her and I was like, no, 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 thank you for saving my coins. So I passed on that, and I already knew the light one was definitely, the lighter one is kind of like a lighter version of this. So if you're fair skinned and you want a berry tone, that's for you. But even the coral, you know, if you're deep, you know, if you're fair to medium, you know, I'm sure it will look beautiful on you. But if you are deep, if you're around my shade or deeper, just stick to this one. The brush, I know I showed you, I did comparisons with the typical brush, and as you can see, they always come with brushes, but this one is much thicker than they normally come. And it kind of has like an angle to it, which I appreciated. It's beautiful. I like that they try to make the brush a little bit different and try to kind of step things up. In the end, sorry, as traditionally when it comes to brushes that come with makeup, no, I'm not using that. That didn't work for me. I used their Chanel's traditional blush brush, and it applied beautifully. And look at that glow. I do not have any highlighter on. I specifically avoided highlighter. Look at that. The pigmentation, the berryness, but still the glow. Like, I feel like I have my blush and highlighter all in one. Yes. This is a yes. Oh, I wanted to say no, but I'm so happy I said yes. So, I think I showed you in the lighting. I mean, you know. Let's swatch the blush. I'm trying to go around the embossing. I don't want to mess the embossing, but here is the blush. So as you can see, it's berry toned, but it has some glow. It's not like a super matte blush. All right, let's swatch the lip balm. I still have the swatch from the blush from earlier. We'll just put it right next to it. But as you can see, it's cool toned, it's metallic, it's got a shine to it. So those are the two. You can see both of these two. Okay. And last item that I got, it was the lip balm. And I got it in the shade Keep Cool 938. This is actually my third lip balm. So I meant to bring them out, but I keep them at work. My other two at work, and I forgot to bring them. So, but that just lets you know. I actually do really like it. It's just a simple lip balm. So at the same time, these are not cheap. You know, I'm not telling you to spend 40 bucks on a lip balm. That's not for everybody. I know you can get an affordable lip balm anywhere else. So I'm not saying that this is a must-have, okay? But they're nice. I like that, you know, obviously I love luxury. I love the packaging. And they are moisturizing. I like to keep them at work because a lot of times I wear a lot of matte lipsticks, and no matter how comfortable of a matte I might be wearing, by the end of the day at work, my lips are going to get a little bit dry. And so I like to, you know, sometimes apply it underneath the matte lipstick, over the matte lipstick, wear it on its own, whatever. But when I'm feeling dry at the end of the day, I love them. So I actually like this. So, but I want to, I got this one specifically because I thought this was such a unique and cool shade. Keep cool. All right, so as you can see, it's so unique. So it's like a cool tone brown. It has some mauviness to it, but you can appreciate that it has metallic finish to it. So I have it on my lip, and as you saw in the video, I first put it by itself so you could see it, but I particularly like it with a brown liner, so I use a brown liner. I'll just apply a little bit more. So it's a lip balm, so it is not a lipstick. You're not gonna get, you know, any crazy pigmentation. It's a lip, but it just provides this very nice, like, metallic finish. It's really pretty, you know, given that early 2000s vibe, you know, and it's a winter glow, so cool tone, you know. So I actually really like it. Like I said, especially with a brown liner, I think it looks better than on its own. So I think it's actually nice. I have no regrets. Like I said, you know, I'm not telling you that this is the #1 item to get from the collection, but I'm not mad at it, and I just think this was just a unique shade to add to my collection. So I'm actually pleased with all three. If you need a primer, get the primer. I think it does what it's supposed to do. It feels lovely. I'm definitely going to use it up. Who knows? Maybe I need to get a backup because I heard it's limited edition and I actually really like it. Lip balm is nice. The blush, I think the blush is the star. The blush, oh, this glow is absolutely gorgeous. So for me, the blush was the star. You know, like I said, I skipped out on the nail polishes, even though I love their nail. This is actually a Chanel nail polish, but even though I love their nail polishes, the colors weren't really speaking to me. The eyeshadow wasn't quite giving me the oomph and pigmentation that I needed. And look, I feel like the look I created with my 3 Chanel eyeshadows that already existed, I felt like gave me the vibe with the pigmentation that I would have wanted. So I already had it. So this collection is a yes. So yes, I actually loved all 3 products. I'm not mad. I think especially the blushes. I'm just saying. And if these are limited edition. Okay. So anyway. So like I said, please follow I Am Jamila. On YouTube, please follow Chic Brooklyn Beauty. On Instagram, I'll put their info in the description box. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also follow me on Instagram, Daps_makeup. This was a lot of fun. I'm excited to show you what's next, what comes next into my collection. But until then, bye.